So, what's up? What's up? Now, you gotta admit, sometimes you gotta wonder what's going on with such and such. Well, in this case, I started to wonder what is going on. What is the latest with Miss Robbie? You know, Miss Robbie of the show Welcome to Sweetie Pie's, the soul food restaurant, the backup singer for Tina Turner, the legendary Tina Turner, that is. But let me tell you, when you start doing your research, you can sometimes just wind up going down the rabbit hole and it becomes, oh, this was going on. Oh, this was said. So I wound up at the Associated Press, just some kind of way. How it happens, I don't know. Like I said, doing your research. And, ooh, just terrible, terrible, terrible. Unfortunately, Miss Robbie's son plotted against his very own beloved nephew, Andre. You know, we got to say his name. You know, Andre goes to St. Louis, you know, according to the show at the time, to basically have a new life. You know, I don't want to say have a new life, but be introduced to a life of a direction for purpose. But the ultimate, like, happened to him. He came to his demise due to his uncle, Tim Norman, Miss Robbie's son, putting together this plot for Andre to come to his demise due to money. Okay, let's just go there. Let's just relax this whole situation. Call it out. It is what it is for $450,000 policy. Okay. So I'm going through a statement on the Associated Press, and Miss Robbie, his mother, gives a statement stating, I don't know whether Tim did what he was accused and convicted of, wrote Robbie Montgomery, who is also the victim's grandmother. He is still the baby that I bore, and I love him as every mother involved loves their child. Now, I'm not going to speak on that because that is that mother. That is Tim's mother. That is their relationship. That is their bond. You know, everybody has their right to say what they say. I respect, you know, what Miss Robbie had to say, and I'm going to leave that right there. Now, if you all choose to have comments on that, that's your business. You know, I'm not trying to referee anything because that's not my place. Now, continually going down this rabbit hole, because all I wanted to honestly look up at the time is what's the latest, what's going on with Miss Robbie. And might I add, she looks wonderful. She looks wonderful. She looks amazing. Now, I don't know if she's had any cosmetic work done. I have my own speculations about it, but whether she did, whether she didn't, she looked good. She looked good. Y'all know she's in her 80s, okay? And that just goes to show you, you know, when it was her birthday, she did a caption, age ain't nothing but a number. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for my elders. So that's her caption. That's what she's saying. And I'm here for it. I'm celebrating her because Man, this woman obviously has been through a lot. And when you drop down, so to speak, whether, I'm gonna come from a mental state of mind. I can't imagine the thoughts, the feelings. I just can't. So again, yes, I initially was just seeing what is Miss Robbie up to. And I saw that after the conviction was made, that her son will be serving life in prison, that the final Sweetie Pies had closed. Okay, because Tim, he was a big part of helping to run the location, that we became familiar with, if those of us was keeping up with that reality show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. It was a family-based show. Like I said, Oprah's network picked it up. I watched it basically religiously, And so I see that Miss Robbie is on the scene. She's in St. Louis, and she's a part of the who's who, and also being celebrated, also being given her flowers, and just recognized for her contribution to the city of St. Louis. Okay. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm celebrating along with them. Then it's like, oh my gosh, I come across another story, which I'm like, did all this just really skip me by, or was I just not paying attention, or was I just not really interested? I don't know. But anyhow, I'm now interested in basically keeping up with her. So I saw that in 2017, Miss Robbie sued her son. She sued her son? Tim. What? Miss Robbie sued her son, Tim, over a trademark infringement. Now, I do remember Tim going to California. Okay, not only did Tim go to California, Tim was opening up restaurants. California is already expensive, okay? But Tim's sitting up here opening up restaurants in the expensive parts of California. Very expensive. So I'm like, wow, this restaurant, this name, whatever he's trying to do, however the restaurant business works, I don't know. That is not my expertise. But you're gonna have, that's human nature, to have thoughts like, wow, they must really be doing okay if he done, took it on the road and all the way across the map, like from the Midwest to the West Coast, to go to California. But if his mother had sued him for a trademark infringement, it's like, this wasn't discussed. Nothing was said, or if this is a good idea, or if part of the name should be used, or the trademark. Respect enough to, if Miss Robbie said yes, no, to just abide by that. What if she said no? Because if somebody's trying to sue somebody, they must not been in agreement. Did he just, like Tim, take this upon himself to just do without her knowledge? Here's another messy family blow up. Oh, can family go into business? Can family just work it out? Can family get along? Can family come together? What happens when money starts to come into the family? What happened to generational wealth? What happened? What happened? Y'all know what be happening. Y'all know what be happening. I ain't even got to go there. Messy family blow up that's making news. And we thought everything was all love between mother and son. We're referring to Sweetie Pie's restaurant Miss Robbie and her son and business partner Tim. Obviously, looks can be deceiving. And that's the case here. The bottom line is that Robbie Montgomery, the owner of the St. Louis-based Sweetie Pie's chain, has filed a lawsuit against her son, Tim Norman, for infringement of her trademark over the use of Sweetie Pie's name of restaurants. He has opened in St. Louis and Los Angeles. Of course, most folks outside of the St. Louis area know of Miss Robbie and Tim from the Welcome to Sweetie Pie's reality TV show on OWN. In fact, because of the exposure the NAACP Image Award winning show has received, the restaurant chain has become so successful that it even released a champion cookbook. Okay, nice. Also in 2015, Miss Robbie started authorizing qualified restaurants to use the Sweetie Pie's trademark. Oh, okay. Now, again, I'm not legal. I know nothing about the restaurant business. But okay. Let's keep reading. Interesting. But Montgomery didn't grant her son permission to use the trademark. I wonder why. Again, human nature. I'm just wondering why. She says in her lawsuit that he infringed on it with the opening of TJ's Sweetie Pies, which was depicted in a 2015 episode of the show. I think I remember that episode because the other nephew, I can't call his name right off. I believe he was in that episode helping to run that location. Don't quote me on that. So all things alleged, just my opinion. And yeah, we're going from there. Claims Norman opened other eateries in other locations of California, Missouri, and each of those stores violate her trademark rules as well. Was this just a situation, possibly, not just, because I'm not making light of this at all. Was this a situation where possibly the son may have felt comfortable and just took advantage of the situation? Because it's like, that's my mom. She's my mom. You're my mom. Shouldn't be a problem. Like, we'll work it out. Him not thinking that she was going to go through the legal system. Maybe. I mean, you never know how people's minds are thinking, what pushes them over the edge, what makes them tick, what might be considered to just have like gone too far. You don't know. We don't know. But all I was doing was just trying to see what Miss Robbie has been up to. So after mentioning her son Tim being convicted for the plot, but Miss Robbie had made an announcement. She made an announcement, and the radio station that broke the news got clearance to go full speed ahead in celebration of her opening a new restaurant called Second Act in St. Louis. It's supposed to be located on MLK. Okay, so again, it is a little bit of drama surrounding that. If it's gonna happen, if it's not gonna happen, hopefully it will. I have not researched final word if it will be a final yay, if it will be a final no, because going into business is not always the easiest thing, I'm sure. So the new location at 4949 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which she purchased through her 4949 Development LCC in November for $135,000, according to city records. The new location could birth about 25 new jobs, which is always a good thing for the economy, and considering that it is on Martin Luther King, that's a good thing. That is a good thing for the community. Montgomery is also seeking 10 years of tax abatement, as well as the right to use eminent domain for an adjacent property at 4923 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, in case negotiations to buy that property fail, according to documents filed with the Land Clearance for Redevelopment Authority. Montgomery opened her first Sweetie Pies 25 years ago. Her son, former business partner and TV show co-star James Tim Norman, was convicted on federal. Okay, we already done, the M word. We already done, went over that. But again, let's wish Miss Robbie the very best. This woman, she's still standing, and that is worthy to be celebrated through it all.